Hey guys, Joe here, and I want to take a quick second before we get going on today's firearm review, which will be on the STI Staccato P, and talk real quick about the state of the channel. As it's been trending, and I've seen it and I've watched it, I fully acknowledge that this channel is kind of just going straight towards a firearm channel. I don't want to just do firearms, so I am going to be focusing more on splitting the channel up. I will throw up stuff during the week just to keep the channel kind of a little bit varied, but when it comes to the technology, that's going to be separated from the firearms. So from now on, firearms, Jiminy Show, Jiminy Tech will have the technology such as graphics cards, motherboards, all that stuff. Tomorrow, this is going up today on Tuesday, so actually Thursday is when you're going to see the first range video, I think, in 6 months, because Daniel and I are going to the range tomorrow. That reminds me I need to charge my batteries. Thanks for reminding me. I had one plugged in, but yes, I'll get those charged up so that we get that video. So keep an eye out. We're again going to be going pretty much firearms on this channel, and then tech will be going up on the other channel. So if you have any comments, let me know. If you want to just come over to that one, just do that. It's just Jiminy Tech. And yeah, so without further ado, go ahead and watch this video and enjoy it. And yeah. Hey guys, Joe here, and in today's video we're taking a look at a pretty awesome piece here. This is the STI Staccato P in 9mm. So let's get going and take a quick look at a awesome race gun. Before we get going, if you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. Maybe consider using my subscription link down below, as well as the Amazon affiliate links. You can get cool stuff such as, beef jerky or a iFixit kit, which, believe it or not, is usable on a firearm, and all kinds of other stuff. It'll help the channel grow. You'll get stuff you need, and everybody wins. Today's gun is, as I said, the Staccato P from STI. Let's go ahead and do a safety check. Lock the slide back. Fiddle in there, high fiddly-dee, an empty gun for me. This is a massively popular firearm. This is the 2020 version of the gun, and this is the 4.45 version of the gun. For those of you that aren't familiar, STI makes really cool race guns, and I almost purchased one last year in the form of the STI Edge, which was the 45 caliber 1911 made by STI. But this is the 9mm 45 made by STI. Has its original warning sticker on it. This one is actually pre-sold, so we aren't going to mess with any of its tagging or anything, so sorry, you'll have to put up with that thing hanging there. Ooh. Inside this really nice branded and embroidered bag, you'll get some stuff. Of course, you get a couple of extra mags. It has two 20 rounders right there, as well as the 17 rounder that it came installed with. Get your information there. On this side, you get a nice Velcro area. The gun is Velcroed in place, so you will know exactly where it is at all times. In here is all your paperwork and documentation, as well as your gun lock. Now, I did just mistakenly call it a 1911 like 4 times, but this is actually a 2011. 2011 is the almost generic name now associated with a double stack 1911. More specifically, you'll see it on double stack 1911s that have removable frames and trigger assemblies. I've owned a double stack 1911, which was not a 2011. It was just a 1911 made by Rock Island, but it was a double stack 17+1. This is massively more advanced in terms of its construction. In terms of its overall parts, it is basically a 1911. It uses a cone barrel, so it does not have a standard bushing, so just like a Glock or Beretta or anything like that, you don't have to take anything off the front to disassemble the firearm. Now this grip frame is removable and it is changeable. However, a lot of people prefer this one over the Gen 1 grip. I haven't held a Gen 1 or a 2019 version, so I'm not 100% sure what the difference is in terms of feel. This thing feels really aggressive and solid in my hand. As I said in the opening, this is a 4.4. It's actually a 4.45 inch barrel. From the research I've done and a couple of other people's reviews, I've come to learn that the reason it's not a full 5 inch, and for a comparison example, here is a full 5 inch 1911, is they've determined that a 4.45 inch barrel still allows the gun to stay super snappy and doesn't lose its recoil speed as much as a 5 inch barrel would over the 4.15 inch barrel from 2019, because as a race gun, as a marksman's gun, as a accurate fast pistol, they wanted to keep it as such. They didn't want to just cater to a 5 inch barrel crowd. In 45, typically you get the best functionality out of a 5 inch barrel. In this 9mm double stack form, the 4.45 inch barrel seems to be the sweet spot, and the Staccato P seems to be in it. The Staccato P has a fully adjustable sight in the rear and a fixed fiber optic in the front, although it is dovetailed. You could change it, but why would you? That's a good sight to have. The Duo, which is the other version of this gun available for 2020, actually has a RMR cutout so that you can put an optic on it. Again, it's one of those things where if you're a purist, you may prefer one over the other. I don't mind either way. I think an RMR is kind of cool to have, especially if you're running the gun in competition. You might as well have all the advantages you can get. Other than that, exterior wise, it has similar controls to any other 1911. You have your slide lock, slide release, your ambidextrous safety, your generous beaver tail with skeletonized hammer and skeletonized trigger. We'll pull this up so that you can see that a little bit better. Very nice and aggressive front and rear slide serrations. You can probably rack this thing even if you were sitting in a tub of Crisco. This does have a full-length guide rod, which is fine. I'm of neither opinion, good nor bad, when it comes to a guide rod length selection. I think just go with what works personally. Some people say, oh, I can't do that really super dangerous press check like you can with a standard 45. Because everybody knows that if your gun is malfunctioning, the first thing you want to do is put your finger at the front of the gun. Disclaimer, the Jiminy Show does not suggest doing that. So yeah, don't press check like that. This does have a single slot 1913 pick rail. I believe the 2019 had a 4 slot. Either way is perfectly fine. They did put some striations here on the front of the trigger guard, and there is an undercut to the trigger guard, so you can very easily get your hand full on here. Standard length frame here, so it will take a standard length-ish magazine. Let's take a look at the magazine really quick. You don't really monkey with these too much when in these reviews, but wanted to show you. They look kind of similar until you do that. These look very familiar to me. They look very similar to the double stack mag I had in my Rock Island, except for when you come up to here. This design is different. The cut is definitely different, and the way the feed lips are, it's taller. And I don't know if that is because of the fact that it's technically a 17+1, or just the fact that it's what they needed to do to make them more reliable. Now here's the other thing. My 1911 double stack had a 17 round double stack mag like this, yet it ran flawlessly. Some people have told me that theirs didn't, that they had to mess with the followers, that they had to mess with the cut here in order to get it to slide lock back. Not 100% sure what your case was. Put that in the comments if you ever had problems with your double stacks. Being a polymer grip, they were able to integrate a magwell into it, which is really nice. And of course, mags are drop free. In terms of smoothness of this slide, this is a $2,000 gun, so hopefully Yeah, this thing is very nicely fit. Very, very well put together. Very well lubed. I approve of this message. Single action only, of course. This one has an adjustable trigger for over travel, so you can adjust it so it has a little bit or no over travel. Very light triggers. They are listed at 3.13 pounds. Fully believe it. All you have to do is engage your grip safety, which is a standard 1911 beaver tail, and you can. Very, very short and very, very crisp. For a comparison, here is a Kimber 1911. You can see there's a little bit more travel. Reset on the Staccato. I actually paused there because I was trying to keep my finger from moving too fast. Let's do that again, but as you can see, there was almost no flex in my finger to do that. Just the pad needed to flex. Here's the reset again. Boom. As soon as you start moving, the spring, the bow of the trigger actually pushes your finger out. So you can keep pressure on it so that you can stage again, and it will pop you right back out to your reset. As an example, this is a Kimber, which is known to have a really good trigger normally. Here's the reset on a standard steel 1911. Very, very short as well, not nearly as crisp though, although for a trigger it's amazing. And then this shot again, little bit more effort. Now I'm sure you're wondering, why isn't he tearing it apart like he normally does his 1911s? Well, because this one is a pre-sold unit and it is a very, very specifically fit gun, and I don't feel like scratching it, I'm not going to be taking it apart. As much as I would love to take the screwdriver to it and take things apart, we are not going to be doing that in this video. This was just kind of a cool look at a race gun, as well as wanting to show that STI is still manufacturing very, very good firearms even in 2020. This being the year of the epic fail. The downside to this pistol is that becoming a distributor is extremely difficult. The good news is, if you call my buddies up at Liberty Arms, they'll give you the information so you can have one FFL transferred. So you can get one directly from STI sent to this store, and you can pick one up. You can also find any of the other firearms that you're looking for. If they aren't in stock, which is highly likely right now, you can get on the list, tell them what you're looking for. Obviously some of the easier to get guns, Glock 43s, Glock 48s, 34s, 17s, 19s, they're popping up because manufacturer is still happening. There are some guns that are just currently not even being produced, so they just aren't available. Call them up, Liberty Arms, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Just Google it. Tell them what you're looking for, what you want. Get on the list and be prepared to buy the firearm when you put your name in the hat. Because if they get one and they call you and you hem and haw about it, it's probably going to go to the next person that walks in the door. No offense, but it is business as well. Let me know if you have one of these. If you have the 2019 version, let me know if you enjoy it, if you shoot it regularly, or if it is an occasional one every now and then piece. I am out of here. I have to get this back to the store so that they can give it to its new owner, who is going to love it and cherish it and name it Earl. Or at least he better. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to call him a bad gun dad and take the thing away from him. So check out STI if you haven't ever seen their products. They are very, very popular in the shooting world. Check out 10-8 Performance. I watched some of his videos on the guns. He shoots these professionally, and he can give you tips and tricks if you are using them. Come back later in the week for more videos. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Don't forget to subscribe and use my Amazon affiliate links. And, as always, I'll talk to you later.